Retake sucks, and that is why today I wanted to bring you all this video to help you improve your retakes. But to properly learn how to even retake, I have to learn you the concept we will be breaking these rounds down by, and that are the 3 phases of retakes. Phase 1, Setup. Setup is all about how you are set up before the retake. This can be to set up intentionally for a retake, or just a default setup, since this will help you how to even deal with the retake when it's time to retake. Phase 2, Retake Prep. Many forget that before the retake you need to have a plan, and this is usually based around the reward of the retake, the risk of going for it, utility, XVX situation and more. It's all done to make sure you are as prepared as possible before the retake starts. Last phase is the execute, and this is where all the planning will either work or will fail and lose you the round. For this breakdown, I want to break down one retake on every single site in CS2, so you can see how the best teams in the world are retaking and winning matches. Let's start with Mirage. Heroic are set up with a mid focus for phase 1. This setup allows you to get mid control fast, but it makes it so fast execute will have an advantage as they will only need to face one player towards site, and Astralis are getting ready for a fast A execute. The CT player is found rather quick, and Heroic will be going into this retake with no site control, due to Astralis smokes. So how will Heroic prepare for this retake, since it's quite a hard one to win? Well, we need to think back. What are the advantages to Heroic? They have the better guns, kits and a lot of utility, so how can Heroic use this to their advantage? Well, the kits cuts the defuse time in half, as well as Heroic has 2 smokes for the retake. And on the setup from Heroic, they can use 1 smoke for Palace to lock that position away, and then use the last smoke for ramp or bomb defuse. But Astralis has planted the bomb here on default, and this is the worst plant to use, since this locks you out of so many optimal positions to hold the bomb from. So for Heroic, when they understand that the bomb has been planted on default, they will be able to rule out all of these positions here as proper spots to hold from. And then after ruling out the positions, they can then use the smokes by removing the palace position completely and smoking the cross for the jungle players to get to site. Well, Heroic bites their time and waits out the smokes from Astralis. But since Astralis smoked so early and got the plant much later, their smokes are starting to fade, and this is when Heroic will take over the round. Nikonos in this off angle finds one player of Astralis over peeking. And here's the issue, Astralis used the smokes to take site and not take map control. And they have boxed themselves in. And here they need to do something to not be overran. But Heroic are 3 players towards jungle area and 1 in CT, where the jungle player will take the attention away, and then the CT player will focus on the players holding the bomb. And here Nerds finds 1 kill, and as you can see he smokes off Palace, as we talked about, since Heroic by now knows that Astralis have planted the bomb default. And this is one of the few places Astralis can play from, but this smoke serves more purposes, and that is to force the close player to peek. And on that timing, the CT player will push out and find 2 kills, and Heroic just made that look easy, since they had great retaking phases.
They're all just congregated on the site now.
Completely out of nades.
And Nikonos' AWP is there, as is Nerds. Could this really be falling apart? They were trying to take some sort of territory for this post plan. Now Kixon will push through, catches Blame F. Astralis picked apart. 1 by 1, they fall, and now so many on his screen. Yabi will get 2.
Heroic are clearly set up to be ready for a good A hold and mid hold, but in this scenario they are leaving their B player alone, so a rush will be a problem, and that is what Gamer Legion are doing, a full-on rush towards B, so Heroic has been played. So how will they deal with this? Well, there are some trades, but in the retake they're going into, they're a man down in a 2v3. So let's see how Heroic should play this out. Let's start with the information that Heroic have. They know from Tessas and Nerds that Gamer Legion has 1 player site, 1 towards bench, as well as the site player is quite tagged. And then the 3rd player is unknown, but Heroic will soon understand where he is playing from, since the 3 spots to hold is usually market door, window and catwalk, sometimes behind, but in this case it's really not applicable. So the 3 players of Gamer Legion should hold these positions. Heroic last 2 players have split up, and that's usually not ideal, but it's good to get information fast and clear more spots. Heroic has 2 nades and a Molotov left. These nades can be quite useful in this scenario, as to stop a plant, remove the site smoke, or use it for information. But the problem is that Nikonos is alone to hold off while he's waiting for his teammate to come short. So he needs to use his utility and the 1 shot 1 kill advantage to the up in the retake. And when he hears the plant, Nikonos will nade default, since this is where he thought the plant was coming from, and in a lucky world he finds Snacks hiding default, and this evens the round out. But right after he molotovs the corner, since that is the only good place left to plant for Gamer Legion if it's not on default, since the short player is about to get to site. The Molotov forces Vault into him, and this will give Heroic all the information needed. They just kill the 2 only players the B-side players saw entering site. Shush came from catwalk, and the bomb is planted for apps. So for Heroic, the last player has to be apps. from the information they have by now. And when Acor jumps down, he is not ready for the catwalk player, and here Heroic takes the round, a great retake.
2 versus 3, Gamer Legion finding to stay alive, but they blow up Snacks, he's out of it, and a nice shot from Nikolos. The Dane finding his way back into this one. Acor, can he keep this one alive for his team? No, shot in the side is Heroic to qualify for the major in Copenhagen.
Cloud9 wins their fight, and quickly it's a 2v3 retake, so how will Vitality win this? Vitality have some utility, but almost no map control. And in these retakes, where the T have all the map control needed, you need to use your utility to win it back. And Apex have all the utility for that, like smoking here and flashing here to block out any players from short and pit to focus on sight and more. But as we can see, FlameC is quite far away, so Apex opts to rather use the Molotov for a kill and finds the sight player, and brings it down to 2v2 retake. Vitality splits up to try to just cover as much map control as possible, and here the Apps player finds a free kill onto Exile, who is just not in a good position. Since from Graveyard, he has to watch both Apps and Short, and here he's taken out. And from this, you can guess where the last player is. He has to be towards side, since he probably planted, and Exile was watching for Apps and Short, taking away that he could be in pit, since he would then have been watching Short and Apps rather. And that leaves him to watch long. And if you can't do it from pit or short, you have to be towards sight or mini pit. And FlameC finds him a perfect way of understanding where the enemy is by focusing on what the enemy are holding.
Is he considering Balk? No, he's not. Apex finds him. A huge round from Vitality's leader. And now FlameC will close. A recovered round at Apex.
Early on, ENCE has taken full banana control for a 2-for-2 trade. And here 9pandas was set up with a default 3-2. So to lose both B players will force a A player to rotate over to B. And here Koi are super slow to go for the side take, but eventually they will, since they are getting smoked off and they need to still try to find one more kill. And I have a graph here. Inferno B site in CSGO was one of the hardest sites to retake, so let's see how 9panda does it. For this retake, 9pandas are very split up, with one player in church and the 2 others still towards A. So here Seized has to make a decision. Does he try to get a kill and help his 2 other players, or is it too late and should he wait? Well, 9pandas only have good utility to clear out spots, with a Molotov, flashes, as well as having a nade to deal with low players and smokes, but no smokes. So Seized wants to break the coffin smoke and kill one player and fall off, and Koi are not set up for this play, since one player will plant, one will hold CT and the other towards banana. But when does he do it? Well, look at the time. This round is all about time management, and here Seized wants to break the smoke to stop the plant, to secure the round, since his teammates are so far away. But after Seized breaks the smoke and gets a 1-for-1 trade on the planter, he did 2 things in this retake. He buys his teammate some time to retake, since 9panda still has 1 player on A, as well as forcing Koi in the 2v2 to decide what they want to hold. Since when you are holding on B, you need to watch CT, coffins and banana. This leaves one spot open. In the 2v2, Koi decides to leave CT open and rather focus coffin and banana. Not ideal when both 9pandas players are coming from CT and coffin. And this allows ID Spellers a lot of information for free from CT. And this allows the Opera to Molotov and kill the backside player, and in the 2v1, 9panda wins it. Since when Just peeks into CT, he gives away his position, and this is just textbook from Clax.
Breathing down his neck.
Molly for his position.
Yeah, this is a real problem for Anubis. He's going to have to go wide, and oh no, Disbalance has let it go. Doesn't make the same mistake twice, however, he's not expecting Just to be crawling on him. Does isolate the first of the 1v2. Clax towards the site. Faked it out. Is he just going to call the bluff? I think he is, Just. Wise to Clax's game. Now he starts to go loud about it. Strafes out, Clax. Does he have the time?
This one's going to be close. Clax is sitting it. He thinks he might have it right down to the wire, and Clax is going to get it.
That was right on the money.
Early on, Gamer Legion are set up for a B and mid take, and then they've sent Snacks to push close to the ramp smoke and try to get a trade and information, while Guild are going 4 players towards A. So this will not be an easy hold for Snacks. Snacks is dealt with, but Gamer Legion are able to trade, and quickly it's a 3v2 in the favor of Gamer Legion, going for the retake. Gamer Legion has gotten all 3 players coming from backside, while Guild has planted default and have went both towards short to split up and go ramp. So how can Gamer Legion win this? Well, they need to prepare for the execute. And here, since Gamer Legion has all their players coming from backside, they have to only focus on ramp and short. But there are many positions to check. So how can they do this easier? Well, Gamer Legion has gotten some utility with 3 smokes and some flashes. And Gamer Legion can use this to their advantage. With 3 smokes, you can pop a smoke in ramp, 1 on the bomb and 1 short. Only problem then is that it's not easy to find the T's at all, and the T's usually know where the bomb is planted and can just spam you. So here you need to be smart with the utility you are throwing. So if I was in the situation Gamer Legion are in now, I would have smoked off short and the bomb and rather held ramp and taken the fights there. On the retake, Isaac will smoke short to allow Gamer Legion to only focus ramp in the start, as well as smoking the bomb, and this kind of goes against the short smoke since now Gamer Legion have no way to really fight ramp early on, and here Acor knows he needs to do something. He smokes towards short, goes headshot and finds a kill. Since Gamer Legion forced the other player down to ramp, he is not able to help his sandbag player and that player is left alone. And here Acor and Kios pushes out and finds him to win the retake.
Tap on the defuse, it's absolute chaos inside the bomb site now, and one Fluctual won't get that. He won't be able to deny that defuse.
This retake shows you the power of a man advantage. Spirit finds the man advantage rather fast and plays safe after, and usually on a Vertigo, you will play it with less players, since it's the third easiest site to retake, and that makes sense. There are few places the Ts can even hide in, and many boxes and stuff the CTs can use, like I did in this one before I had the other day on Faceit.
Oh no. Nice.
But quickly Astralis has sight and it's a 3v4, so how will Spirit approach this to win the retake? All 4 players of Spirits are coming from CT, and to prepare for this they have spotted all 3 Astralis players, so they know that mid is not an option right now to worry about. So they need to lay a plan out. They have 3 smokes, so to force Astralis away with the smokes, well, that can be an idea. And you know it's a default plant, so why not use the man advantage to just run them down? And here Spirit nails the smoke to allow Donk to find a 1-for-1 trade. But when Astralis then goes for the plant, they will run out since Donk saw the last Astralis player far back, and here Spirit with the man advantage just runs Astralis down to make it into a 2v1. And then they just smoke the bomb and tap it to find out where blameF is hiding, and when he shows himself, they will just defuse and hold it, and Spirit takes the round.
Astralis down a player, 20 seconds left. Device leaps towards the site, bomb plant trying to come in, defended by blameF. Xotix had a chance to deny it all, but blameF is in the clutch now. He's got 9 health, no utility, and they know he can't have gone far. So they've got eyes on this, smoke onto that defuse. The tap will force blameF to start to spam. Team Spirit aren't committing to the defuse just yet, and blameF needs to be careful he doesn't fall off the map. Team Spirit sticking it now around that corner, and blameF can't get there.
But talking about retakes, if you want to improve on them yourself, check out xplay.gg. They've kindly sponsored the video today. Do you want to be able to win free skins, finally play community deathmatch and retakes with your friends in Counter-Strike 2? Well, xplay got you covered with all of this. For a casual introduction to xplay, you can get free skins by just practicing on their servers. And if you want to take it to the next level, xplay allows you to complete challenges in many of their game modes to win free skins. But we're not done. Under the challenge tab, you can as well complete daily challenges for even more free skins. Hey, that's not my default up. Well, xplay.gg allows you to use a skin changer on their servers, so you can play with any skins you want, any sticker combination, when deathmatching, and it's completely legal. I myself are using xplay every time I warm up before any matches, since they got the best deathmatch servers, retake servers and more, so why not give it a try, and thanks again to xplay for sponsoring this video. Eternal Fire are on a heavy setup towards B, and this has paid off as they find one FaZe player from short pushing, and then on A, Rain gets so unlucky. On the jump, Santares spots Rain coming out of toilet, and this is why Santares falls back and why Rain is forced to start pushing site. And after Kerrigan is killed, FaZe has to go A. And here quickly in the 3v5, FaZe gets sight and finds a whiffing Calyx from behind. So it's a 4v3 for EF. How will they win this? Eternal Fire has 1 player undetected coming behind FaZe from long, and then 3 players from bank and stairs. And in the utility department, Eternal Fire does not have a lot. So here they need to play the man advantage rather. And here there are many ways to play the retake here. Late last year I made a video about the site zones on Overpass. Here they are. And by controlling a majority of them, you will win the retake usually. And as we can see, Eternal Fire have 3 out of 4 zones, with a player on long, players in bank and on stairs. Eternal Fire does not focus on using utility for the retake, and they just want to wait out for the long player to sneak up on long after he spots 1 player. And I have no idea why FaZe are not looking, it's the last round. This is a crucial miss from them. And here Riccardi from behind finds 3 players. Insane to see how 1 player can win the retake, when your 3 other players just freezes and baits for him.
Maybe it can. Rain about to get shot at the back. Maybe that'll be their saving grace here. He's seeing the backpack. He knows it. Riccardi, he's a step away. Just pull the trigger right now. Don't try to overdo it. There's the kill. Wakardia on the double. And Frozen, the last man standing only for a second. Wakardia.
Eternal Fire are set up with the goal to win B monster control by having two players take control of the monster entrance from short and then flash over. And this is the definition of chaos. Rops just misses the player swinging, and then on the trade. It's a 2-for-2 trade. No idea how the last player of Eternal Fire in monster stayed alive for so long. When Phase are going for the plant, Eternal Fire need to make an idea of how to retake this fast. Well, they have all three players ready and waiting. And here, the water player and Voxic on the AWP are key. Voxic will make sure no Phase player can cross from short to site or the other way around, as well as the water player is keeping the water area clean. This creates a mental map for Eternal Fire that Phase are stuck somewhere here, as well as Eternal Fire has a smoke, some flashes and a nade. And this smoke is key, since if you think Phase are here or here, you can just smoke off, let's say short, and here you will have paralyzed the whole setup of Phase. But here Phase are in some troubles. Eternal Fire has a player coming from short, and this forces the Phase short player to swing into Voxic. And here the rest falls apart, and Eternal Fire takes a round. Great retake.
Significant damage, so the bullets of Maja and Woxic. Down to Frozen, the first clutch scenario we've already had here, and he's gonna nail the first shot, but Xantares will find him through the smoke.
Spear starts the round by having a full shutdown in secret, and set up in a way to almost force Heroic to go A. And here's where we will see the retake happen. Heroic goes for a split A take with 2 in mid and 2 from lobby, after Nerds finds that nice kill from Hut. And quickly it's a 2v2. And 2v2 retakes are hard, since it's so hard for both teams to guess where the players are. But Spirit are in the disadvantage going for a retake. Spirit has very little utility, and most of it is on Shiro, meaning it's quite useless, since he can't do any good flashes to help his teammate, since he's stuck behind vents, and has to break it to get out. But wait, is that bad? In a retake you need to use everything to your advantage. And this is a good fake to go for. Use the vent to take Heroic's attention. Well, let's see. The Heroic are going for a hold where they will have one player in heaven and one on site. And Shiro uses the vent to hide, since you can get close to the gaps while pressing E. And this allows him to hide in the vents while Nikodas walks across and can't spot him. And here when Shiro breaks the vent, this forces Kixen in heaven to walk in closer to the stairs to hide from Shiro. And a great nade deals with him. And then Shiro pushes side for information, and this allows Somtix to shoot Nikodas so the team can attack him from 2 spots. And they win the fight. I love how Spirit used the vent as a hiding spot for Shiro to have so much impact in the retake.
But realizes with the bomb in his back, he has to sprint to the site, and that grenade, that is going to eliminate Kixan, no problem. And now it's all on Nikodas inside of the site, nearly turns up for Zontix. Confident fights from Team Spirit, just taking one after the other.
Batboom early on gets secret and finds 3 kills for 2 deaths, so going into this retake, Navi are down by 1. How will they be ready for this retake? In a 2v3, one player has to get 2 kills or more. So how can Navi make sure AlexiB or JL finds 2 kills? Well, Navi has a Molotov and a flash left, but Bit have seen in the death cam that the Oper walked out of the window, as well as dying from the double door, so here Navi from that has all the information needed. AlexiB will walk out of the smoke on the right side, since the logic is that one player planted, one will look towards ramp from control room, and the last will be holding vent from double door. And this allows AlexiB to walk out of the smoke and 1v1 the planter. And this is as well why JL joins his captain down in ramp and does not go from vent. But how will you use your utility after for the retake? Well, the best would have been to use the smoke to block out double door and stick the bomb with a flash. But Navi has no smokes. Well, they need to get creative. A flash and a Molotov forces both Batboom players to the double door opening, and a perfect execution by Navi, since when Batboom players has to watch for the double door, AlexiB is ready to swing them from sight. And here he finds one player, and the last one makes a lot of noise, and JL can deal with him.
And has come back out again. They're right on top of each other. It's a terrible position for Batboom to be in. They might have put themselves into an unwinnable position. Chiron backing up in through the flames, Lily lining it up, but it's the defuse coming in.
Navi are set up with 3 players towards B to take early ramp control and 2 in middle, to just hold it down mid and go for a play of Fortnite if needed. After ENCE gets bottom mid control and finds a kill towards A ramp, Bit decides to walk back to spawn and into temple, and this is a very good position. But a rifle versus AWP is not ideal from this spot, and it's why Bit plays it very safe, now that they've gotten some trade towards B. And here he allows Virtus Pro to take full on-site control, and Virtus Pro does this by taking Donut and all, making this retake very hard. But Navi saviors ENCE, who runs out and gets a crucial 1-for-1 trade. So when the bomb gets down, how can Navi use their position to win this? Well, on the plant, Bit does something amazing. He wide swings the AWP not to kill him, but to get the information before he kills the planter. And remember, EME got the information that VP had a player towards Donut, so this will tell Navi Donut and main are the last 2 positions to worry about. And Navi right now have Bit on site taking all the attention, 1 in Donut to clear it out, and 1 in Temple to help Bit. Navi uses their advantage with a man up and the positional awareness to focus on 1 player at a time. And here they start with Jame and finds this kill, and Mir will not have much impact from Donut in a 1v2. And Navi takes the round.
Pulled away from Temple yet again, and he stood in the same position, but no shots will land. Mir gets behind cover, and time is now ticking for Navi to get this defuse, and Mir knows he can just toy with his prey. JL gets the kill, and he's gonna run back for that defuse.
Navi early on are focusing on B side with 3 players, since EME from mid will join outside of cave. But since Virtus Pro are a little bit late, as well as Virtus Pro losing 1 player early, this forces one of Navi's player to go and help mid again, since getting this 1 kill is such a false sense of security to leave and think B will be fine. And Virtus Pro are able to get ramp since Navi are focusing cave and short. And here when going for the plant, we need to see how Navi will win this. Well, Navi have the better guns, a man advantage and all you can dream about. Only issue is that they do not have a lot of players ready for the B side retake. Something you need to understand is that confidence is key in these retakes. And this retake proves it. EME goes for this flash and here JL just runs out in a fantastic way. This flash not only blinds VP but puts them completely off their position. And running out, JL can get 2 kills and an assist. But how is that possible? Well, Virtus Pro kind of left the site player to plant and die, as well as Virtus Pro smoked off long and short on site. So they will not expect this play from JL, since they even Molotov's cave. And this is why Mir is watching the short smoke and not the cave opening. This creates a great opening for JL to just run out and win the round solo almost.
And VP or Navi are fine playing retake because of the man advantage. Oh, JL's got 1. Oh, no way he converts that. Even a dink on the other one, and this is perfect.
Early on, Apex are set up with 1 player towards A, 1 in middle and 3 on B. And their goal are to early win water control, since this takes away a lot of the pressure on the A player. While Ecstatic are going 4 players towards water, so this water play is a key to this round, to either go to overtime or Apex for the win. The water play leads to no kills from Apex, and rather Sasanito being low and has to hide to not die. This means the pressure on the Ace player is not gone as Ecstatic are going 4 player towards A. And here we are seeing Stico trying to hold but can't. And quickly it's a 3v3 and a retake is bound for Apex. So how can they prepare for this to win it and make it to the major? Apex has a lot of map control and want to go for a box in attack, since they have water, heaven and mid control. This allows them to box in Ecstatic on site. But with their guns and utility it's hard, with only a flash and a smoke, so how can you use the utility to win the retake? Well, since they have a player in water, to smoke him off is not ideal, so that is out of the picture. So the best use case is to smoke here or here, to then be allowed to walk out to site without being seen, and then use a flash to really allow them to get sight. The water player has MP9 and low HP, so it's not as easy. Well, look at Ecstatic. They are smoked off from A main, so 1 player has to push through the smoke to get water and A main control. Not ideal as well. And the last 2 players are playing towards the pillar. And here, one of them is in the open and is an easy first target. Colgan pushes the smoke, but he does it before Sasanito. And here he finds the first kill. And here I think ENCE is the difference maker. He leaps out as proper IGL and takes the first contact, by using the smoke and flash to allow him to get a 1v1 against the side player. Nuke finds 1 killer through the smoke and it's only 1 player left. And here Apex can use the man advantage to find his player after he shoots some shots and can't decide who to fight. And Apex makes it to the major of this amazing retake.
Bound through the smoke, look to clear the angle. ENCE checking the site, finds 1. Nuke's doubled up as well. It's all on Patty. He's been a powerhouse player, but he's got to stand tall right here, right now. Tucked in behind the pillar, plays his card.
Around the minute mark, Navi starts to rotate off B site in the favor of mid and A. A missed call from the IGL, but they will rather focus on B and retake. And here the solo B defender is key in this round. When Virtus Pro goes for the take, we need to talk about Alexis B utility and why he might be the best utility player in the world. Navi left him alone, since he had a plan for this side take. When Virtus Pro go for the B execute, they will smoke here for the cross and Alexis B uses this to Molotov pizza, as well as picking up a Molotov dropped in the corner to hold off Virtus Pro from the plant, to buy his team more time to help him in the retake. Navi for the retake has given away water to rather have 3 players coming from CT and 1 behind lurking. So the goal again is to clear site and back site and then play around that information, while Virtus Pro has 1 player taking water and then the last 3 players close towards site. And this will make the flanking player super strong in this round, since Virtus Pro is right now not holding for him. And that will give Navi a lot of information, the further the lurker can go. But wait, of course Virtus Pro has someone looking, and that is Jame, who is stuck behind a smoke and since it's a 4v4 equal ground, he needs to watch behind for the lurker and on site, and this is the main person Na'Vi wants to bully. Mir finds 1 kill, and this allows one more VP player to get out of main and hold for the lurker, but JL finds both of these players. This is now an issue, and Na'Vi knows there's only 1 player on site, so the last has to be Water. And here in the 2v2, JL and Wonderful can create 2 1v1s and win the retake.
Side of the site certainly helps them as they look towards that flank. JL gets a headshot, draws Jane to look back, but it's a missed shot from the sniper. JL gets that 2nd kill, and now it's all about the rifles inside of the site. Fame is a dark Mir dancing around the obelisk, and he's doing as much as he can with his AK-47, but Na'Vi find the kills right towards the end.
I wanted to end the video on some stats that are good to have in the back of your head when you're going for the retake. Let's start with the hardest sites to even retake, since in a 2v3, in the Retake and any of the harder sites, it's better to save. This is a graph provided by Leadify, and first of all, this is CSGO and not CS2. Both the maps are similar, and we do not have enough data yet to say anything about CS2 retake success. If somebody have that, send it to me, I would love to see. And here the hardest to take is Inferno A site, and that makes sense, since the T can play from many angles that is very good, and it's why Anubis is the easier site to retake, since on Anubis the A side is much more open and easier to predict how the enemy will play. Here, learn this graph since this will tell you when you should have saved and not in a retake. There are 3 main parts to most retakes before you even go for it. The first is the players left. Players left means how many players both teams have going into the retake, and here the best scenario is that you have more players than the T side. The second is where is the bomb even planted. This will help you build up the blueprint in your head on how to retake and where the T's is set up. For example, on Mirage in a 3v3 retake, if the bomb is planted default on A site, the odds that a player will be playing CT and Palace are over 80%, while the odds of a player will going mid to play the retake is near 0. And that's why the spot the bomb has been planted for is so crucial. This will allow you to eliminate some spots and player. The last but maybe most important is the reward you will get for going for the retake, since when you want to retake you need to think what will happen if you lose or win. I did an amazing breakdown between ENCE versus Vitality, and here Vitality in a 2v5 went for the retake and lost, but got it down to a 1v1. And they did this since they could lose. They had the lead and the money, but by killing so many players from ENCE, they ruined ENCE economy completely, since ENCE were not able to save with 5 players left and rather won, and that is why understanding reward for both teams getting a win or loss in a retake is key before going for it. Hopefully your next retakes will be better, and you will win more. Thanks for watching, and there are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like.